my friends, it's Laura the Teach. Today's lesson is going to be a little bit of a review of some prior lessons that we've done together, focusing on the hundreds and the tens columns and how to play with numbers in there. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to draw a picture of some tens. Now we know that 10 tens equals 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So that is a group of 100, 10 tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10 tens equals 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Another group of 10 tens. Now I want to ask you some questions about this. And I want to see whether or not you can figure out if this answer is correct or not. If you look at this, we know that this is a group of 10 tens, a group of 10 tens, another group of 10 tens. So if 10 tens equals 100, this is 100, 200, 300, correct? Okay, so my first question is, would this be equal to 30 ones? Now remember, a 1 looks like that. Is this picture the same as 30 of these? You're correct, it is not. Because these are groups of 10. 10 tens. We have no ones in here at all. Is this group the same as 300s? So what would 300s look like? They would look like this, correct? Does this equal the same? You have 10 groups of 10, which is 100, 10 groups of 10, 200, 10 groups of 10, 300. Is that the same as 300s? Yes, it is. Good job. Is this the same as 30 hundreds? 30 hundreds. So that means I would draw 30 of those. Is that the same as this? No, it's not. This is one group of 100, but I only have 3 groups of 100. If I drew 30 of those, I would have way too many. All right, is this the same as 30 tens? What does 30 tens equal? Remember, we did this on a prior lesson. 30 tens. If we counted 10 out 30 different times, here is one group of 10 tens. Here is 2 groups of 10 tens. Here is 3 groups of 10 tens. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in each of these groups. 10, 20, 30. Is that 30 groups or 30 tens? Yes, it is. Good job. So looking at these different ways is kind of interesting because we play with numbers when we do math. Now I'm going to give you a little problem. Let's say that I have 180 stickers and I want 200 stickers. Okay, so I want 200. That's my goal. So let me write my 200 right here. And I'll put a star next to it because that's how many I want. If I have 180, I have to figure out how many I need until I can get to 200. Now there's a couple ways that we can do that. We could add to this number until we got up to 200, or we could take 200 and subtract or take away 180 to see how many we would need. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a subtraction problem up here. I have the 200 that I want, and I'm going to subtract or take away the 180. Now we're going to be doing some regrouping today. So This, our goal, we already have that up at the top. We want 200. We have 180. When we regroup, that means we bust things up, and we've done that on prior lessons before. You're a champ at that. So we always start with the ones column, remember. So if we have 0 and we take nothing away, we're still going to have nothing. But here when we subtract, we have to start at the top. And I have no 10s, but I want 8 10s. Where are those 10s going to come from? You're right, from the hundreds column. So we have to bust up one group of 100. If we take one group from two groups, we're left with one group. And we're going to turn that into 10s. So one group of 100 is 10 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or we can write it as, here's your one group of 10. Now we have 10 10s. If we have 10 10s and we want to take 8 away, we would take 8 of these away and we would be left with 2. So we have 2 left. And then if we have one group of 100, take away another group of 100, we have nothing. So I need 20 stickers more until I can get my 200. We'll do some more regrouping as we continue our lessons. Now, let me give you another problem. S could be anyone's name: Susie, Steve, Stan, Sanjo, Sabrina. S has 348 marbles. H could stand for Helena, Harry, Howie, Harriet. So H has 100 fewer than S. And A could stand for Ari, Aristotle, Allison, Alistar. So these are different names. I'm just representing them by the letter. But Ari has 10 marbles more than S. So we've got to figure out how many marbles each child has. So S, H, and A. If S has 348 marbles, we already have that answer, don't we? S has 348. But H has 100 fewer or 100 less. Now remember, we've done lessons where we take 100 away. So we look at how many hundreds S has. S has 3 hundreds, and we want to take one of those hundreds away to see how many H has. So 3 hundreds take one group of 100 away. 3 take 1 away is 2. So H has 2 hundreds, but he still has, or she has, 4 10s and 8 1s because the only difference was 100 less. Now A has 10 more than S. And so we're only going to look at the 10s column. If S has 4 groups of 10 and A has 1 group of 10 more, 4 groups of 10 plus 1 more group is 5. So A is still going to have 300, but now the group of 10 is going to be 1 more group. So 5 groups of 10 and the 8 groups, or the 8 ones, stays the same. So S started with 348, H has 248, and A has 358. Do you see how we did that? We just looked at the place value columns and we decided what to do to figure out our problem. Let's try a couple more problems together. If we want to figure out what the next number is in sequence, again, we're going to be looking at whether we change the 100 or whether we change the 10. So let me write down some numbers. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 4, 3, and I want to write the next 3 numbers down. So I can look for a pattern. They all have 100. They all have 3 ones, but look at what changes. 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens. So 2 things stay a constant, but 1 thing changes, the tens column. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 4, 3, my next number is going to be 1, 5, 3. See how we did that? 2, 3, 4, 5 in the tens column. We're adding a 10 each time. So my next number, what's the constant? 100. What do we change? The 10. 5 becomes 6, and the 1 stays the same. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 6, 3. What's next? Good. 1, 7, 3. Great job. Now we can do the same with hundreds where we're playing with those numbers. I'm going to do a little trick though. 7, 8, 3, 6, 8, 3, 5, 8, 3. And I want to write down the next 3 numbers. So let's look at, we're changing our hundreds, but we're not going up. What are we doing? 7, 6, 5. We're going down. But our 8 tens is a constant and our 3 ones is a constant. So 7, 6, 5, good, 4, and then we keep our constant, 8, 3, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then our constant, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8, 3. Good job. See how we did that? We manipulated the tens and the ones column by adding or taking away. Let's try another one. All right. If I wanted to write a number out in what we call standard notation, if I had 286, I'm going to write that out as I would when I'm saying it. So when I say it, I say 200. So I'll write 200 plus, what do I say now? 280. So I write 80 plus 6. This is how we can write the number out in standard notation. We're simply pulling it apart and writing it out as it would be in its place value column. So we have 2 hundreds, 8 tens, which is 80, and 6 ones. Let's try another one. It's so much fun to play with numbers. I have 127. So if I write that out in standard notation, what do I say first? 100 plus 20 plus 7. I've written that out in standard notation. 127 equals 127. Good job. All righty. Now, let's do one more type of problem. I'm going to write the number in standard notation, and I want you to write the number out. So if I have 450 and 1, how would I write that as a number? 451. Remember, we have the hundreds, the tens, and the ones column. So good. 451. Excellent job. So we can do the reverse of the standard notation as well. Let's do one more. Let's write the number 900 plus 0 plus 4. Now I did a little twist. So we have the hundreds, the tens, and the ones column. How many hundreds do I have in the hundreds column? 900. So how many hundreds is that? 9 hundredths. Do I have anything in the tens column? No. And I have 4 ones. So 900 plus 4 equals 904 because I didn't have anything in the tens column. Great job today. You just learned a little more about how to play with hundreds and tens to get interesting numbers. I am so proud of how you're doing with all this.